Okay, this is the second part, and I want to get that scripture right quick about the camel. We shall not eat. Leviticus 11:4, but of those that only chew the cud or have only a split hoof, you are not to eat the following: the camel, though it chews the cud, does not have a split hoof. It is unclean for you. So the Arabs eat camels, man. Now you might say, well, a black woman might have a Arab husband. Well, he don't eat camel, but his nation does. And if he's a heathen, that you come from a nation. So, and you are who you are. Your people are who you are. Like we're Israelites. So we do certain things a different, certain way. Now, a lot of our people are wicked. A lot of our people do eat pork. A lot of our people would probably consider eating camel. Who knows? But that's not the customs of who we supposed to be. So now you got an elect out there saying, no, this is not us. We don't do those type of things. We don't eat those type of things. So the ones that do and the ones that continue to eat swine and things that are unlawful in the Bible, they're going off and they're going to be destroyed. So there's a line drawn and a clear distinction between the elect and the 2/3, and they don't have that. No other country has that. They don't have a division of the elect or a special people, and not, within them being a nation, those that are not accounted for in that caliber. It's just all the same. It's just like, oh, some of us eat camel and some of us don't. Nah. What about holiness? What about going to the scriptures? What about saying, this is why we don't eat camel? This is why I don't do this. Because everything has a reason, man. But, and you might have an Arab that don't, but will, just for his people's sake. Oh, my father and mother. So every now and then we get together and I'll eat it then. But I don't eat camel every day. But you still eat camel pretty much. Uh, Where's the other scripture? Here's another scripture. It says, Leviticus 22:8, that which dieth of itself or is torn with beasts, he shall not eat to defile himself therewith. I am the Lord. So there's a law of us not to do. I just had that. Let me pull it up again. I asked, it says, Deuteronomy 14:21, it says, ye shall not eat of anything that dieth of itself, that shall give it to the stranger that is in thy gates, that he may eat it, and thou mayest sell it unto an alien, for thou art an holy people, that word holy, and to the Lord thy power. So, roadkill and all that, these Edomites eat a lot of roadkill, man. They don't eat and then things that, are strangled, we're not supposed to eat, and things of blood, because blood is life. It says, the blood is life to the body, if I'm saying it right. So we're not supposed to eat anything of the blood, but the Edomites do. Maybe a lot of these nations, I'm not sure as far as that's concerned, but they do eat abominable foods. And, what did it say? You are what you eat, man. If you eat swine, you are swine. If you eat bottom foods, you are bottom people. We're not made to be bottom people, man. We here because of a reason. We're at the bottom because of a reason, because of disobeying the laws of the Most High, man. So we're trying to get out of this state, and we're cleaning ourselves up according to this word, first in our mental, in our mind, in our spirit. And then, we say, well, damn, I didn't know I couldn't do that. I didn't know this was abominable to the Lord. I didn't know this was, because there's, pursuing the Psalms 130, Psalms 147, I think it is. Psalms 147:19, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his commandments unto Israel. He had not dealt so with any nation. See, Most High deal with nations. So your nation is your nationality. What nation, it mentioned the generations. Gene come from seed, your nationality. As for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. They don't know. So we don't oppress these nations to keep the law, but they're going to have to keep the law in the kingdom. Because this is our, we're the ones that's in trouble with the Most High right now. These nations, they haven't felt the effects of judgment on the Most High for a long time because, we're messing up. But once we get right, all these curses going to come upon the nations. All these curses going to come upon Edom. So when you go to a nation and you go to certain countries and you say, well, you touch down in China, you touch down in Dubai, and so be like, well, you have a chauffeur or somebody that shows you the city, or you take a shuttle around the city, however you get around. You might even take a damn camel and shit. And you see the city and they take you on a tour, and that's why they call them tourists. They take you on a tour and they say, well, this is the festival. This is how we eat. This is how we, get down. This is how we, I'll take you to a place to where they serve camel. I'll take you to a place where they pray. I'll take you to a place where they, whatever. And then you try to figure out like, damn, man, if you have a woman and she wants to live in Dubai and she's pretty and you, enjoy her company, you want to be with her, you go over there and be like, yeah, you look around like, yeah, I think I could do this. But, for the elect is different. We don't move around like that. They have to be our servants, man. We're not subjecting ourselves to Ishmael, subjecting ourselves to Elam or Moab, because they heathens, man. And it's proven in the scriptures, it's proven in their diet. A lot of things you can know by somebody's diet. You ask a woman, what you like to eat? Well, I like to eat crab, lobster, and pork ribs. She's usually going. That's usually a fat woman, sloppy fat woman's diet. You have a pretty ass woman with pretty skin and her hair is glowing. Usually her diet is, she's a vegetarian. She's a vegan. So I'm just saying, like, Most High do set differences between these nations according to our mannerisms, according to how we eat and how we act and how we behave. That's why they looking at Israel and don't think we the people of God, because they be like, damn, every time I look on TV or TikTok, these niggas are fighting. And they fighting over chicken. They fighting over, who's a lot of jealous and hatred, and a lot of wigs flying, a lot of, asses being shown. You know what I'm saying? A lot of, it's crazy, man. And no respect and no judgment. So they be like, these couldn't be the people of God. Let's try another nation. But of course, a lot of the so-called white people's criminal behavior and there is hidden, so you don't see it at all. But it's just Jake is lively. It says that in the scriptures, and it's just the magnitude of our behavior, the extremity of our behavior. Is like, damn, it's kind of blueprinted in the fabric of people that soak themselves into want to know about another nation or people. Like, well, what's going on with these people? Now everybody knows the black man. Everybody knows the nigger and everybody knows the atrocities and about slavery and all that. But a lot of these nations go through their own shit, of course. But it ain't nothing like, you know, the the excitement of what is the Negro gonna do next? What is he on now? Okay, he's into hip hop. Okay, he know how to sing and dance and boogie and all that. Okay, look at him on TV. Look at him on, acting crazy. Look at him showing his ass. His women and twerking and all that, and wigs are flying and all that. Look at him. Look at Diddy. Look at what the rappers are doing and shit. Look at them in a dress and shit. And they be like, yeah. But a lot of them people that have that behavior, their diet is fucked up. Because you eat how you think. You eat how you think, man. So anyway, I didn't want to make the second part too long, but take a tour, even with yourself, and examine ourselves. Because we examine ourselves, you be like, is this how a king would eat? Would he eat bottom feeders? Would he eat, gods of the earth? Would they come down and eat slop? Go to the deepest ocean and pull out, the bottom feeders. Nah, man. So you leave that for the nations. But at the same time, they're going to have to learn what true law is and what true behavior is, especially under their gods, which are going to be the Israelites. And it shows their lack of morals shows that they're not the people of God. The lack of concern regarding strict and upright laws that come with judgment prove that they're not a people of a God, all-fearing God, man. I mean, a God to be feared. They're very carnal people. Even though they got a moral streak of some kind of customs to where some pray and meditate. Well, what else do they do? Well, they eat all this abominable BS. Cat, rats, and dogs, camels, tigers, and some of them eat lions and all that. They got lion burgers in another state that actually from lions. I don't know how true that is. It might be called lion burgers because it's probably a big burger, but they probably really are, using lion meat for delicacies on these table of these heathens. But, and then if you, and that's another thing, a woman, if we lie down with women of these other nations and not pulled by them because the man is the head, we're not influenced by them. And it doesn't change anything in our customs. But when they marry a heathen man, it does change things in their custom and rules because he's the head of their household. So it's definitely more detrimental that our women marry them opposed to us marrying the heathen women. But also, in the same breath, that is lawful in our heritage that we can marry other women of other nations. Especially being submissive, especially being gods over them. Because Godism starts with the man. Head of the nation starts with the man. Kings and priests are men. And then you have wives and princesses and so forth, even the elect lady of the men. So, anyway, hopefully it's that fun. To the next video, so on.